Hey everybody, JJ with Thrivestry here, talking about the half-kneeling single arm dumbbell press, which is a mouthful. So one of the things that we're always doing with our programming is making sure that we're doing unilateral movement. We're doing movements with one leg or one arm. We don't see these showing up in the Metcons very often because they don't produce a real powerful stimulus for intensity. Because all the rest of our body isn't doing much work, it's hard to kind of get people's heart rates up and get people breathing hard if they're just doing one arm presses or a single leg split lunges or things like that. So we can incorporate them into our strength practice, but also the problem with that is if we're not doing the big lifts, then again we're kind of it's hard to, we're not using our time the best, right? So what we like to do is put them in as a superset, right? So we'll do a big lift like a snatch and then a single arm press, and that's a good example of one of our strength focuses. So let's talk about the single arm press here. What we're going to do is we want people kneeling down. Now we could do standing single arm presses, and those are also very effective. But the problem is that people, when it starts to get heavy, it's really easy for them to get squirrely and do kind of twisting things. And so by having people kneel down, it makes them, it helps take kind of the legs out of it a little bit. It also puts the legs in a good position where they have to learn how to use their glute and also brace through the core, so through the trunk here. So what that looks like is we're gonna have them kneel down on a pad. They don't have to use a pad, but trust me, most people want to use a pad. And we're always gonna start with our weaker arm. Right, so if you're right-handed and you're stronger on your right, you should start with your left. And you can, which knee goes down isn't critical. So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna brace through, my butt's tight, and I'm gonna press up. Now, I like to have the hand on the abs because that helps me remember to keep my abs tight. But you can also have the arm down to the side as well. And then we're going up and overhead. We want to finish the position. We want the elbow tracking forward, maybe out to a 45, but definitely not out to the side here. And then instead of switching knees, you can just have them switch sides on the same knee. Again, doing the same movement, finishing overhead. And then on the next round, they do left, right, but with the other knee down. So they're still getting it split. It's a little bit faster that way. A lot of times, this is one of those movements where, especially when you're being really strict, is that if we're doing a set of 5, they'll be able to do 3 with their left, 5 easy with their right. What do? Well, we are trying to balance people out. One of the best benefits of doing individual limb work is that we can fix imbalances that can continue when you're doing a lot of two limb movements. So we don't want to necessarily keep making this one stronger and the other arm always lagging. But toward the end of a strength focus or on your last set of maybe 5 sets, you might go 3, 5, 2, right? Or maybe 3, 5, 3 again. And that is still going to make this arm catch up. Now, one of the reasons why the single arm and single leg works so well is that research has shown that if you only train one arm, this arm gets as much as a 5% benefit in strength without touching the weights at all. And so what happens is if we do this arm and then we do this arm, because of the neurological adaptation, we're going to get strength across both. And so I've seen it happen in my own practice where people struggle for strict presses, for example, with the barbell, and then we put them on a dumbbell where they have to make a 5-pound jump each arm, which is really a 10-pound jump on a pressing movement with 2 hands, and they make far faster gains for their handstand push-ups, their push presses. The single arm press is probably my favorite movement for developing overhead strength in a strict fashion. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video.